Welcome to this episode of Daily Dose of Dan, episode 14. Today is going to be the in-theater movie review of Knock at the Cabin. It's M. Night Shyamalan's most current movie. He often tries really hard. I think one of the problems with his movies are, ever since The Sixth Sense, which was amazing, everyone kind of gets an idea of what he's going to try to surprise you, and it's hard to surprise someone that's expecting it. So this movie, IMDb is rating it a 6.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomato, the audience is saying 64%, and the tomato meter is 68% fresh. I saw it with my sister yesterday, and I'd have to say I was really impressed. I'm going to try really hard not to drop any spoilers, and I would highly recommend do not, if you haven't seen the trailers for it yet, do not watch the trailers. This movie is one of those movies that you want to kind of go in blind, because you're going to get the maximum effect. That's kind of what happened with me. It's like I knew what it was like going in, but I hadn't really seen the trailers for it. That being said, really kind of different. It actually has the actor that played Ron Weasley from Harry Potter, which is kind of cool to see him working, you know. But what was nice about this movie was there isn't a whole lot out in the theaters right now. So this gives an opportunity for movies that aren't necessarily blockbuster movies like Ant-Man or stuff like that to give them due, you know, to give them a chance to, like, you know, get out there and do their thing without having to try to compete against the big blockbuster movies. I would say that, is it a must-watch? No, it's not. But if you're a movie fan and you want to just see something a little bit slightly different than what's, you know, the fighting action movies with kung fu and explosions and all that, but there again, it's not, you know, fall asleep drama type movie. It's not really a horror movie, more suspense. I think the way I would describe it is to really have an open mind. It's nice to see Dave. Let me see if I can pronounce his name correctly. I don't want to butcher it if I don't have to here. I'll make a honest effort at it. Dave Bautista. They've hinted that he's pretty much done being Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'd like to see him get some other acting roles, to be honest with you. So supporting him, that'd be a nice thing to do. I know it's my last review. I was saying a lot. I'm going to have to try to adjust that. So you need to go into this with an open mind. And then what I found interesting, and after we watched it, we discussed the movie, and what was cool was, if a movie can suck you into its world, and that's all you're thinking about for a runtime of hour and 40 minutes, it is rated R, it's done its job. You know, you can't ask much more from a movie than something that sucks you in and makes you, like, really feel like you're there. Occasionally it felt like it was a little long, but there isn't a lot of, like, splash and action to keep you occupied. You're really having to focus on dialogue and acting, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I would say that it's probably not for children. It's not horribly graphic, but there are some intense moments. I would say it's almost religious, or at least a faith-based movie. Not in the sense of like in a conformed, like, boxed-in area. It's more of a open-minded. You got to think about, you know, like, oh, okay, you know. So I would recommend, if you are a religious person and you have more of an open-minded idea about religion, to go see it. It might make you think about some things that, and it doesn't matter what religion you are, if you were given a sign, would you know it? Would you know what it was when you saw it? And then how would you describe that to somebody? Like, how, you know, without them thinking you were completely nuts, you know? So that's that's kind of what I took away from it, is like, you know, like you have like this, say you're given this amazing gift to tell the world. How do you tell the world without them thinking you're crazy? It's important to think about, like, there's a lot of people out there that are like, you know, well, you know, God exists and this is what happened, and God spoke to these people in the Bible or other books, and how would they have told other people that didn't believe them? It would be very frustrating. We as a species are very skeptical. We have a negative bias, and it has protected us from, you know, natural stuff. You know, like the best example I've heard is I can't remember who said it, but basically a negative bias for primitive man would have been, hey, is that a saber-toothed tiger lurking in the shadows? The person that said, nah, that's not a saber-toothed tiger lurking in the shadows, there's nothing there. And so he walks out and gets attacked by the saber-toothed tiger and dies. Well, he's not able to reproduce, so therefore his genetic code is no longer in the mix. Whereas the person that says, you know what, I think that's a saber-toothed tiger in those shadows, and I'm just going to stay back. Well, he survived, and he got to have children, and his children got to have children. So this has been bred into us over a very long period of time to have a negative outlook on things because it's a survival trait. So to not believe someone that's telling you something that they're passionate about, I think we really have to take that in consideration of, like, you know, when someone says something and you feel that, you know, it's someone that you trust, or that you would believe them. And so I think that's where we're going to go with the positive message of the day is if something amazing happened to you, I don't care if it's something to do with religion, you saw a UFO, you saw Bigfoot prints like I did, you know, to believe someone opposed to ridiculing them, that really says more about you than the person telling the story. You know, if you're someone that makes fun of someone, they're trusting you. They're trusting you with something that's very, like, that scared them, that they can't explain, and they're wanting to share because they can't wrap their head around it. And so to trust someone with something so intimate, you would need to express that even if you didn't believe them, that you're there for them, and at least have an open mind to the possibility that they saw what they're actually telling you they saw. And then later on, if something happens to you, that you can share back with them, hey, you know what, you shared this with me, I'm sharing this with you, because, you know, that's what this whole ride on this big planet is about, is sharing with each other, and hopefully being understanding to the point where you can actually be honest with one another, and hopefully we can get some answers. And so this has been your Daily Dose of Dan. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. This channel is growing quickly, and I want you all to, like, enjoy the ride with me. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's video, and I've got an awesome Valentine's Day special coming. So be sure to, like, keep an eye out for it, and I'll see you tomorrow.